All right, so another product is, let's have a look. All right, so we all know kind of arts and crafts and things like that, right? And arts and crafts usually are kind of dismissed more or less when it comes into the Amazon space. But it depends how you actually do it also. And there's nothing wrong with selling on Etsy. I used to sell on Etsy when I first got started and then go to Amazon. But what this company actually does is they sell pottery and candle painting kits, candle and painting kits, right? So that is definitely or could definitely be an Amazon product. So if we have a look at this image here, you can see they actually sell these particular kits, right? So they've just made a really cool kit for pottery, painting, drawing, whatever it is. They've created the kit for that, and now they're selling it, right? And again, if you think about those particular types of niches, what are some hobbies that people do in arts or crafts that you could actually create a kit for, right? So I thought this was an absolute genius and brilliant idea, and I think that it'd be awesome too if they did kind of more of a subscription model in terms of more products and things like that. But I think right now it's absolutely brilliant and it's completely unique. Actually selling something like this is very, very unique. You can see their branding is also quite nice. So it's a really, really great idea. And it could be a great idea also for Etsy, could be a great idea for Amazon and everything. The only thing is, one thing you got to watch out for is when you're doing a product like this, is to make sure that a lot of the product is actually coming from one supplier. So some of the issues that you can run into is if you're doing a kit like this, and this is really the only time where you'd want to have a lot of different pieces, right? If you're bundling a product, never bundle more than, two different items together, I would say. And then in terms of the actual, and when I mean two different items, I mean not the same item twice in the bag, but two completely different products. But when it comes to actually a kit like this and you have 30 pieces, you have to really ensure that you have maybe one supply or two suppliers at the most. Because if you actually imagine if you got 5 or 10 different suppliers just to make this one kit, it doesn't really leave you a strong foundation or supply chain model because one thing can happen to one of the suppliers and you can't complete that kit, right? Or you got all these suppliers trying to ship all their inventory, all your inventory to a central warehouse where it gets packed. But again, if one's late and you have to try to manage lead times, so it can get very, very messy when you have a kit like this. But again, ensure that you have maybe only one or two suppliers at the most. I would say maybe three, but you could be pushing it slightly to get this whole kit together. Soap making kit, I bet you it's probably not on Amazon, not if you do kind of like a really cool one and you target, say, the kids niche, right? So if you think about it and you're doing soap kits, kids' birthdays, maybe, I don't know, 12-year-old birthday or something like that. That would be quite cool. So just think of the niche in terms of soap making kits and just target a niche that no one else is targeting, right? So that's what you could do. So if someone else is making them, yeah, just think about a different avatar and target that. I think it's a cool idea. But then you can even do maybe, like, if we think about kits, what else can we do? Maybe candle making kits. I think that was mentioned before. Candle making, pottery. What else do we have? I know like the aquascape and terrariums, they actually do quite well. I'm not sure if there's any kits of them, but again, just thinking of kits would be a really great way to basically put something together. Now, this one I thought was absolutely brilliant. It's kind of more of a putting together an aquarium. I have an aquarium myself, and the biggest challenge you have when you buy actually an aquarium is if something happens to the fish, right, or they're sick or something, you don't really know how to take care of them, and you kind of go online, you're starting to research, what you need and vitamins and foods. Usually, people buy fish and they just buy the food and that's it. But it should be sold in a kit. There should be a kit where you have like a bioflora for the actual plants that you put in, which is a supplement where you can have like these actual supplementation for the fish, B vitamins to make them healthier. and you sell that as an actual kit, right? And then within that kit, you can actually write, if you see the plants looking like this, you add this in there. Or if you see the fish are starting to get, discoloration, you add that in there. Or if you see that, and then you basically have a kit, but you're actually teaching people exactly how to use that, and what happens when. I mean, we have some Japanese koi, in a koi pond that I still need to bring to this house. But basically, every season there's something that happens, right? So as it starts to get warmer, they get parasites, in the water. There's a bit of parasites in the water, and you have to basically put salt in the water. I never knew that. That's actually a natural method of just killing everything in the water because they're outdoor. Salt is a good one. You just put it in the water, and then everything dies. And then you have, as it gets cold, they start to get what's called a white spot. So you have all these different things that happen, and no one usually knows about it, right? So a kit, rather, something like that is an awesome idea. But the aquarium is cool. And then usually when it comes time to clean your aquarium, no one wants to clean it. So they end up giving everything away, right? That's usually what happens. Consulting in aquarium cleaning is a brilliant idea. All right. So this is another brand that I thought was just absolutely genius. It's called the Farmer's Dog. And it's a company that basically, we see this kind of trends emerging of like Hello Fresh, for example, where you have all these ingredients delivered to your door, and then you have also Uber Eats that we have as humans have it, right? And we have all these kind of fast food options, but then we also have these pre-made meal options. In Australia, a lot of people that go to the gym, but they used to get all these basically pre-made food. They used to come in packets, delivered to them for the week. And then basically, now we have a lot of different things, right? Different foods available. A lot of people using them. They work in the office. They use that. Yeah. So basically, what these guys do is they deliver the food to you just like they're delivering it to yourself, right? So you can see in the website, super cool. As I scroll down, you can see it's actually just changing that, which is super cool. So it's vet developed, it's made fresh, and it gets delivered. And I think this is an absolute genius idea. So this is how it gets delivered. It's basically just in a packet like that, test it on humans, personalized plans. So you can go in there and say what your dog's allergic to, and they can actually make that for you. And I think this is just an absolutely genius idea for when it comes to a dog related product. I think these guys are still fairly new also. Let's see. So they got 350,000 followers, but when did they start? Yeah, they started not too long ago, right? So it's still fairly new. But again, great business model. And I think it's going to be a really successful business, no doubt.